That's a little lie.
I should stop over here?
Yeah, so I'm just going to do it from here. It says it's live.
Yeah. It looks like it's loading over here. I can't tell if it's actually streaming or not.
It's just going to disconnect me.
Quite possibly.
Hey guys, so I guess you can hear me now? Yes, it looks like it's working. So I'm going to work on getting things set back up again over here. I want to thank you guys so much for how patient you were. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry it's taking so long. It seems like every time I change something about how I do this stream, it ends up taking like 30 minutes to get it figured out. So I appreciate your patience. Oh, I appreciate that, Lindsay. Joseph is a computer scientist, so he's pretty good with computers. It's more like, actually, would you like to tell them about our myriad of OBS problems on the Surface Book 2? Because it has
Connecting from Galaga, but it's got very low bandwidth on Galaga. I mean, it's not watchable right now.
I know. Or I assume if it's... I just switched back over to Space Invader. I'm going to see if it cuts me.
You mean you're streaming from Space Invader?
Yeah.
No. Did you stop it on?
No, I just did it, and I guess it picked it back up.
You should definitely stop it.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Definitely stop it on the laptop. Yeah, it seems like it's, there are no, what's it called, issues, latency issues anymore.
Okay, so should I still stop it over here and just go forward?
I have no idea where you're streaming from.
I'm streaming from Space Invader right now.
Okay, that is a network. I'm talking about computers.
I'm streaming from this computer.
Okay. I mean, Space Invader was disconnecting all over.
Can y'all hear me? It was disconnecting on Galaga for them too. Awesome. Good. Okay. Okay, well, if we've solved the problems, then I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Wow, we have a really good turnout tonight, too. I am so sorry we were having so many awful problems. That is not how I wanted this to go at all tonight. So hi, welcome to my power hour. This is the first time we are doing an artist showcase. I'm really excited about this. I want to go over some of the rules this evening. Everyone in the channel so far, given my experiences, is a wonderful person, so do not take these rules as me second guessing you. I just want to play super safe. Since we're looking at and handling other people's art, I want to be completely respectful. So if you're not in the chat, I will not be able to showcase your art. And the reason for that is I don't want to separate the art from the artist. I want the artist to be able to represent themselves in chat. And if something were to happen that artist isn't comfortable with, I want them to let me know so we can fix it ASAP. We have both of our wonderful mods in this evening. We have Kino Kitsune and Joseph. I want to thank you guys so much for making the time to be here. I really do appreciate it. You guys help me so much. They are going to be the ones who are probably going to catch stuff before I do. So if they tell you something, please listen to them. They have my A+ seal of approval. We're only going to critique artists who have selected the critique option. Artists have already selected. I had them fill out a Google form with all their information. So if they selected to have a critique, those are the artists we're going to critique. Otherwise, we're just here to appreciate and compliment one another as artists. So this is a mutual appreciation society. When we do critique, I would like the critiques given as a compliment sandwich. So something you genuinely like, or that they did well, one area of improvement, or something that you notice, like maybe a tangent, and if possible, suggestions on how to pursue that in the future, and then another compliment. I want this to be a really upbeat stream. I hope this is something that we can do the first weekend of every month, and I feel like having these kind of rules in place is going to allow us to do this. The very last thing I want is for this to turn into somebody getting used as a punching bag by someone who's having a bad day. So if things do start to devolve, I'm going to end the stream for the evening. I'm not mad. I just want to nip things in the bud so that we can do these events regularly and it's a good time for everybody. So ending it early like that will allow us to have a nice fresh start for next week, and it'll allow us to improve the artist showcase for the future. Power hours that have an artist showcase will not have a warm-up drawing portion, and I will not be taking sketch requests because I'm streaming from my laptop rather than from my desktop, so I can't turn on the overhead desktop view that I would normally turn on for those kinds of streams. But I am going to offer digital demonstrations, so if you have any questions about digital art or digital art programs, certain processes, lettering, layering, layout, etc., let me know in the request form that Kino or Joseph will put in the chat. And sketch requests will resume next week, so I'm not nixing sketch requests. I am just not doing them this week. And you can submit your own request for an artist showcase at any time during the month, and I will present them in order of submission unless an art nerd makes a special request that they want to be bumped up in the order, because my art nerds always get priority. And you guys can find these rules in the description below. I just wanted to make sure I went through all of this with you guys in case y'all have any kind of questions. Oh, I turned off the music because I was having so many problems with music. So, unfortunately for tonight... Oh, yay! Awesome! Thank you for letting me know, an ink guy. And thank you so much for ordering a copy. So, I am going to go ahead and kind of get started. So a quick introduction. I think most of you guys know me, but I would still like to do an introduction for myself. Hi, I'm Becca Hilburn. Welcome to my stream. I am a comic artist and a comic art educator in Nashville, Tennessee. I teach classes through Nashville Community Ed, and I have the watercolor comic 7-inch Kara, which should be up on the screen for you guys. I'm going to refresh my stream just to see if that happened. Is it showing up for you, or is it still the 7-inch Kara promo ad? Okay, so it seems like the stream's really lagging.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not it. Yeah, it switched over.
All right. So I am having some serious laggy problems this evening. Infinity view. So sorry about that. So this is my comic, 7-inch Kara. Just to give you guys a little bit of context, you can go read it at 7inchkara.com, or you can order your own beautiful printed volume of Volume 1 by contacting me through email. I also run an art blog, and I will try to wait for this stream to catch up a little bit.
Why? They can hear you?
They can hear me, but they can't, it's not...
They can see when they can hear you.
Oh, it's matching? Okay, I wasn't sure if I was getting a distortion.
Cut off your video will probably help with the bandwidth.
How do I do that?
You either click pause or you close the link.
Oh, I want my video though, because I want to be able to follow it.
And it's just gonna make
It even worse.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'll have to cut it off over
Okay, well then I will cut it off over here, but so that you can leave it up, please. So I also do, sorry, I got completely disjointed because of the latency issues. But I teach online as well as in person. I mentioned teaching through Nashville Community Ed. I also teach a variety of workshops through various libraries and conventions around the country. But I also do my art education here over on YouTube, which I highly recommend you guys subscribe. If you aren't subscribers, click the bell notification. It'll let you know when there are updates, and that way you never have to miss an art stream. I also do art tutorials and comic tutorials over on a blog. I know not everybody enjoys live streams, YouTubes, and podcasts. Some people want to be able to consume content at their own pace. So I do still keep a blog, and when I am teaching, I'm down to 1 update per week. And if I'm not teaching, I'm doing 2 updates a week. So it updates pretty regularly. And there's usually fresh content for you guys to look at. So if you like my art, if you want to learn more about comics or watercolor, you can check out natosoup.blogspot.com. And I want to point out 2 features that I am particularly passionate about. My Watercolor Basics series, which is a series all about watercolor for comic artists. So if you've ever wanted to learn how to watercolor, this is the series for you. And as you guys can see, I have a lot of stuff there to check out. And I also have my Intro to Comic Crafts series, which also spans over onto the YouTube channel. So, oh, okay. All right, well then, since we are running late, Joseph asked me to just go ahead and start showcasing the artists. So I will do that, and I'll just end the stream with the other stuff as well. So we are starting with Ricky Rinka art. And Ricky Rinka is a fellow comic artist. I believe they are in the chat. So hi, good evening. It's always good to see you. And they submitted their comic. And, oh, I just love how Google Forms has divorced it from the... And Ricky Rinka is open to critique. And their social media is twitter.com/RickyRinkaArt. And Joseph, would you mind popping a link in the chat for their Twitter? And we have Celestial Princess Sierra, which has some of the most adorable art. It is a really, really cute shoujo comic. So let's go ahead and click first. And look at this beautiful toned art. I really love it. It reminds me a little bit of, I'm not going to remember the name, unfortunately. Hey, I guess I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab the manga that this is putting me in mind of, but it's gorgeous. So your art reminds me a little bit of Aki Erie's art, and that's the artist for Ran and the Grey World. I believe she is friends with Karumori, and that they kind of trained up together. So that might be somebody whose art you enjoy looking at, and I will type the name in the chat. But I really love these sort of languid eyes where we have like the big, long, beautiful eyelashes with the heavy eyeliner. The lettering looks really nice. The word balloons look really nice. This comic reads from right to left. Is that correct? Yep, right to left. So so far I think that would be my only critique is since, and it's kind of a personal, yeah, I think your art really does. It reminds me of Aki Erie's art quite a bit. So hopefully she will provide even further inspiration for you. Hey Nisa, hey Catherine. So personally, I like to see when I'm buying comics from fellow American artists, I like to see them go from left to right because I don't realize I'm supposed to read it from right to left. And I'm interested to see how you print this. Are you going to print this so that it reads right to left? Like, are you going to print it like a manga volume, or are you printing it like a Western comic? Hey Tanner, good evening. I didn't realize this was traditional inks. What are you inking with, Hema? I really like your use of tones. I will say, if you ever decide to print this, either like published or like home publishing, you're going to want to be careful with your tones because they have a tendency to do a moire kind of effect. But they look good on my computer screen right now. Ah, these background tones are really cute. Hima, do you use Kino Kitsune's tones by any chance? You do print it like manga? Okay, so like it's clear from when someone's picking it up in person, it's clear from the start that they're supposed to be reading it from the other direction if you're printing it like manga. So a site critique I would give you is just put your read from like right to left at the top, like right above the page, if that makes sense. So in this area here, so that people can see, you know what I mean? They can tell immediately that it's read from the other way. Yeah, Hema did say yes to critique. That's why I'm critiquing.
From you and from the audience?
Yes. But But you know, you say you had a really hard time with it. I am so impressed that you used a G-nib for the first chapter, because I don't see, and you probably corrected it, but I don't see any smearing. It looks like you've got a good mastery of the material. And I know that G-nib dries a really long time because you're putting down so much ink when you ink with a G-nib. So I'm really impressed by the patience that you've had for this too. I don't think I mean, this is a genre piece. It's a magical girl story. So to me, the manga tropes are important because it's a magical girl story. And it's sold, it's presented as a magical girl story. So I feel like if you are purchasing a genre piece, or if you're reading a genre piece, that's what you're looking for. Like, I want, when I'm reading this, I want those magical girl tropes. Oh, I would also make your logo here at the top of the page bigger. I would make it so that it takes up this banner space if possible, or have characters kind of taking up that banner space. Like, you have all of this page real estate that you can fill with your gorgeous art, especially like color gorgeous art. Make it really eye-catching. Especially because, like, I've seen your art in person, so I know how talented you are, how good your art is, and how good your art looks in color. So having some of that up here in the banner is going to be really eye-catching. That's true, yeah. So with the first page, I was confused. Then I saw at the bottom of the page it says read right to left, and it kind of made sense. If you made the read right to left part of your banner, that would definitely help as well. And I love your use of tones. And I also like oh, it's so cute. I like your in comic references to other anime and manga. I'm always a sucker for that. I love when TV shows reference manga in like a loving way. Expression shortcuts, okay, those don't bother me. I've read a lot of shoujo manga, and the expressions don't bother me. I get what you're saying, Heidi, but I'm also considering that Hima is a college student. So the fact that Hima is producing comic content and is in college, I know how time-consuming that is. I know you know how time-consuming that is, too. I'm not, like, discrediting that you know that. Also, like, I don't know. Again, reading a lot of shoujo manga, I'm very used to this. I would love to see you subvert some of the tropes for humor purposes. But I also understand that you have to set this stuff up. You have to kind of develop a contract with your reader before you can start subverting things. And this is just the first chapter. Oh, I love how you drew her in this panel here. That's beautiful. Hey, break it up with the tabs.
I didn't bring it up.
Yeah, I know I have too many tabs. Another critique I have is I would like to see you. I agree with Kino Kitsune. It is very high level work. I would like to see you include more environments. And when I say more environments, I'd like to see you do an establishing shot that establishes the background more when we change scenes. So for this panel, or maybe it was the page before, I didn't realize really that we'd gone outside yet. And I understand that like having an establishing panel that shows that will take us out of the action some. So you can take that critique with kind of a grain of salt. It's just something to kind of think about a little bit. Hema, I would be curious if you could possibly go through your first chapter and let me know what... Okay, so since I know you were working on this kind of during the semester and maybe a little bit before, I would love to see a breakdown of what pages coincided with what major events. So, oh, oh, we definitely need for Sierra, like, more of a grandiose introduction scene. Like, I feel like I missed something. You don't have to, I'm not saying, like, redo this chapter. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying, like, just in the future, that's definitely something to keep in mind since this is a shoujo magical girl story. You definitely need that like grandiose introduction, I think. Oh, okay. All right. So you're already kind of aware of this being an issue. I do like this classroom shot here. I think instead of doing the like the line fill, I would just do a spot black with that. It'll be a little bit quicker for you and it's going to be a little bit easier to parse, because when you start having like tones and then delicate line work going on, it can start to be a little bit much. Aww. Oh, wow, that is a really cute drawing. Ooh, crepes. Okay, so for this panel here, you are definitely lettering this like it's manga, where we have the long word balloons, and I like it for the aesthetic of this comic. So for lettering, you need to try as hard as possible not to break words up, and generally you're doing a really good job. This opportunity is the first time I've seen this come up, which is why I'm bringing it up now. It needs to all be on the same line if possible, which means you may need to make some of your balloons a little bit bigger to suit that. Spot blacks in shoujo manga can be hard, and sometimes they can be a little bit jarring. I'm definitely bringing some of my Western aesthetic or my Azumanga Daioh aesthetic to this, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. That is true, Tanner. That's a good point about having large size enemies. Definitely gives you a reason to show the whole shot. Yeah, gradients would also, yeah, as she is already using. I meant specifically on that table, given how much was going on in that background, it was a little bit confusing for me. But I'm also reading this like I'm looking at it at the art and I'm reading kind of slowly. Hi, Barrett. And I am probably overanalyzing. Your average reader is probably not going to think about that. It's probably not going to bother them at all. And honestly, given how beautiful your art is in general, I can't see your average reader caring about those tables. Just throw kaiju in every shot. They're going to school too. Just put them in a Sailor Fuku. Oh, now I kind of want to read that as a comic. Oh, maybe I'll do that. But your tone use is really nice. Oh no, we have the cute animal mascot, and gosh, it's cute. Sound word over the words. Oh no, I'm sorry, now I'm just reading the comic and enjoying it. I fell into it, but it...
Has the mascot been fighting? The shading made it look bruised.
Oh, that is a good question. So on the next page, I would say no, it doesn't look like the mascot has been fighting. That's a good question though. All right, so I think we've gotten a pretty good overview of Celestial Princess Sierra. I think we've given you some really good pointers. I want to really express that I feel like you have a really good grasp on shoujo art, magical girl art, the tropes and the aesthetics for it. So I feel like most of our critiques are more nicking the neck kind of critiques rather than like, you're off the mark. You are definitely not off the mark. I think you're really, really strong with this. This is a really charming comic. So I hope we were able to give you encouragement and information that's going to help you in the future. All right, guys. So, Joseph, will you drop a link for Celestial Princess Sierra in the chat? And I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next. And I'm going to delete that just so that I can keep up with who submitted what. All right. Next up is MJ. And MJ wants us to take a look at Welcome to Blackball. MJ is open to critique, and MJ works in majority traditional media, preferring ink and color by hand, and she's been focusing on using the color palette to aid in the storytelling and direct the eye on the page. So Heidi, this sounds like your ballpark, and you can find more of MJ's work on Twitter at Melissa J. Massey. And is MJ in the chat right now? I want to make sure, since we talked about this a little bit earlier, I want to just make sure that she's in here. No problem. Thank you so much, Hema, for being such a good sport. Okay. All right. So it seems like MJ isn't in here right now. So I am going to move on to the next person. And it's Heidi. Heidi wants critique from all of the people. Heidi gives us no explanation of their work. And you can find more of Heidi's art on Instagram at Electric Abyss, and I really recommend you guys follow them because Heidi has amazing art. So we are going to check out... I feel attacked. Okay, fine. I'll take one moment. I have a lot of YouTube tabs open because these are all videos that I need to schedule. So what I do is I work through my archive and I open a bunch of stuff and then I just work on scheduling them and closing out those tabs. So what y'all see is a lot of stuff I need to schedule in the near future. So that is work stuff, and I should have created a separate tab set, and I didn't. So it's not like I'm watching a lot of videos. I am just, no, it's okay. I am like queen of too many tabs. I know, because it's like, I'll start like browsing artists and then going through their link pages and seeing other artists I want to follow. That's fine. I'm going to go back to MJ after I do Heidi if MJ comes in. I'm not like not doing MJ stuff. I just don't want to do it if MJ's not here to represent themselves. All right, so we are taking a look at Heidi's portfolio / website. So I'm just going to click on all of the links and talk about all of the things. Heidi's banner is gorgeous. What I would kind of like to see on this page, and it may not at all be feasible, and I understand that, is we have this beautiful art up here at the top, and then we have white space. So even if you had just like a filial kind of design, something that just kind of floats in the corner on pages that are text heavy, that could be good. I don't know. Website design is not my strong suite, so I'm just kind of going by my own taste. That's fine. All right, yeah, Joseph's like, you shouldn't critique people's website. It's because I have no taste. But we have, as soon as we come onto the page, we have a short resume, and we also have a link to Heidi's Patreon, which I'm not going to click because there is some adult materials on there, and we are keeping this stream safe for work. And yeah, Heidi posts some spicy on the Instagrams, which I will also not click. But Heidi is doing Sec Anime this summer, CampbellCon, Anime Destiny, Sec Anime Winter, Wizard World Portland. Oh, these are all, these are older. Heidi, do you know what shows you're doing for this upcoming year or not yet? I know you don't want it to seem like you don't have anything going on. So I understand having old stuff if you don't have a schedule yet. But if you do have a schedule, I would recommend updating it to reflect that schedule. And then we also have contact information right here, easy to find. Heidi, I know you're... What?
Go over in the art.
I will. Heidi, I know you're looking for work. I would say, in addition to have a show you'd like to see me at, I would also mention I'm always open to hear about your projects. Get in touch if you'd like to commission me. All right, now we're going to look at the art. I'm so sorry about that. Oh, okay. I don't know if this is a me problem or if this is it's a me problem. Okay, awesome. I can deal with me problems. So Heidi loves drawing beautiful armor, lots of reflection. Clearly Heidi is good at drawing metal and different textured surfaces. I like the flowers in the background. Heidi's also pretty good, I should say pretty dang good at doing lettering. No, I think this is real watercolor because I remember Heidi brought the original to sell at MTAC, I want to say, or maybe it was Abe. So, and also Heidi lists the materials used at the bottom of the images, which I like because that allows people who are looking to hire to find, they can find what they're looking for. I think Heidi, and this comes from being familiar with your work, and this is also personal preference. You draw people with a lot of neutral face. So we have neutral face here. We have neutral face over here. I mean, this person's smiling kind of, but I don't know if we ever get, sorry, my internet is, some of your links may be broken. Okay, yeah. And I also can't tell if it's my internet. We have, so on this one we have like slight trepidation, but it's still, I would really like to see imagery from you with strong emotion. Like we have, oh, okay, all right, it's just my internet's being dumb. Like here's another kind of neutral face. I know this image too, it's also kind of neutral face. I wish I could click this one for y'all. Heidi's watercolors are gorgeous and their color use is really nice. This is good because we are getting, that is not what I clicked, but we'll look at this one. Okay, this one has really nice strong emotion, and what I like about some of them load and some of them aren't. We have like, this is traditional media and your fire really seems to be glowing from the page, which is really nice. Good use of color, good use of your material. Like this is a really fun piece. So what I would like to see is you put some of these fun, expressive kind of faces. It doesn't have to be happiness. It just, I want stronger emotion. It could be anger, it can be sorrow, just stronger emotion, because everything is kind of like neutral beat, and I know that a lot of art directors are looking for those stronger emotions, so move this one further towards the front of your portfolio. I know this bird piece, it's hanging in my wall. The girl in the cage is sort of sadly looking at the bird, but it's not like a strong sadness. So that's definitely, and these are all original pieces. Heidi also has a lot of professional work out. But even kind of just glancing through, I mean, you have some really beautiful stuff with, especially the stuff that you've done for JP, even though it's not loading, unfortunately, for me. Some of this is really gorgeous. But we still have a lot of that kind of neutral expression going on. And then, I mean, being familiar with the Yuri on Ice fan art you've done, that's when you really start drawing, like, expressive people and expressive body language. And then we have some really beautiful typography down here. I'm almost afraid to click it because I'm having so much loading problems. And then Heidi also has some fan art. See this? The fan art is when we start seeing more expressions. Like, look at this white diamond. White diamond's gorgeous. There we go. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's really pretty. So I would almost say put your fan art maybe first, because you're using really beautiful colors. It's very inviting. It's warm and friendly. It's like a world I want to be part of. And I know normally, professionally, we wouldn't necessarily put fan art first, but fan art is really where you're shining here, because I can tell how much you enjoy these properties that you're doing fan art for. And then you're working on the long form comic Sons of Fire. Would you drop a link from Amazon? And you're working on volume 2 right now, right? So I really like this page. I will, however, and this is a personal critique, this is not, do not take this as like hard and fast. I don't like dry brush that much. I think dry brush kind of, I know you're using it to add like a gray tone to the page, but sometimes it can make it hard to read. And I don't know if it's because I'm ADHD and my brain is just literally having a harder time parsing the visual information, or if it's a legitimate complaint. But like this page here, I think without having shading maybe in the back, like I feel like just black and white would have been really nice, because it's a really nice stark contrast between the black of the hand and the white lighting. And you've got really nice atmospheric lighting going on, but I lose that with all of the dry brush. And I think you're using color, like black color pencil, right? Is that where the black color pencil, is this kind of where it started? No, that's 2014. Okay, so that was like old-fashioned dry brush. Well, post-SCAD dry brush. And then on this page I have here, and I know these are old pages, so it's unfair to be critiquing these, but you include so much visual information. And I understand that you're drawing like a crowded bar scene and it's smoky and it's dark. It is very atmospheric, but it's becoming a lot to parse, because we have the character who's, I mean, to be fair, you are utilizing your space well. He's always lined up in the same place, so we can always find him quickly, but we also have a lot of text to read, and then there's a lot going on in the background. And one of the critiques that I've gotten when talking to Scholastic editors, and to be fair, this wasn't a comic editor, it was a children's book editor, was that my pages are too busy. I put too much information in, and that makes them harder to read. So I'm looking at this page through that lens. See, I like your ink splatter stuff better. So if you really want to grunge up the page a bit more, I would say use the Sean Gordon Murphy kind of techniques, where sometimes he'll like dip his finger in ink, you know, and then blot that on to grunge it up, or he'll use a paper towel and he'll dab that on. Like maybe try out different ways of grunging up your page. I know. But the smoke is gorgeous. And maybe just more spot black down in the foreground. And then Dealing with Trolls was your thesis comic. I'm not going to go into this one. It's beautiful, and y'all should go look at it. I'm not going to go into it too much, just because since this is older work, I know how it feels to have somebody critiquing your older stuff. Yeah, Heidi, I want to see some newer stuff on your site, especially with Sons of Fire. I know you have some newer pages. If you could just even if they're not lettered, just something newer to show that this is still going on. Because looking at this, like I'm not necessarily seeing your the Puerto Rico stuff that you did. Unfortunately, yeah, I can't open that. Not for any reason other than y'all won't see it open because it's on a different computer. But y'all should definitely go look at it. And I will open it and critique it while y'all are looking at it yourselves. Oh, you do dirty up the page differently. I see. Those look like almost like eraser marks or fingerprints. That's cool. And then Heidi's available for commission. And then contact information. I'd like to see some art of some sort on your contact info page, just because it's your website. Put as much art as you can on it. And then we have a link to your store, which is nice. Everything's clear, easy to find, easy to read. Why, I see these other projects, why are we not seeing more of these other projects like throughout your site? Okay. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to open this on the stream, not because of the no nudity, but because I'm using a different chat. I recommend you guys click these. They are gorgeous. You've made, oh, you've gotten so good since scat. It's not fair. Hey, Andy, good evening. And I am going to move on to our next victim. Thank you, Heidi, so much for letting me go through your stuff. I always think of you as such a stronger artist than me that I feel like guilty critiquing you. But I also know the validity of having other people who maybe the technical skill isn't as strong, but their eyes are developed looking at your stuff. So I can see both ways. Okay. All right, it's your turn, Kino Kitsune. We are going to observe. We're not going to critique. We're going to compliment and enjoy. Oh, the bookmarks! Ah, Kabocha, I'm so sorry. I am not doing the right kind of stream for that this time. Can I go to your DeviantArt page and look at your bookmarks on your DeviantArt page since I don't have my thing set up?
On the back and the front.
Where are the bookmarks though?
I have one.
Where'd you put the other? Is it in with the other commission stuff? Go find the bookmarks! And while Joseph digs up the bookmarks, I am going to take a look at Nisa's stuff next. So, Nisa is open to critique from me and from you guys. You can check out more of Nisa's art at catsarts.tumblr.com, and I will put that in the chat so y'all can look at it. That is Nisa's beautiful art. And you can also find Nisa's art on Instagram, which I will grab a link for you guys. Oh, I have it here. Nisa provided it. I know, I'm so sorry, Kabocha. Sometimes this week I think if my head wasn't attached to my neck, I would have lost it a week ago. Oh! Okay. It might be in the commission stuff. I think I might have. All right. So Nisa does a lot of work in traditional media, alcohol marker, and watercolor. And I really like Nisa's art because it has a really light, airy, and charming kind of feel to it. I think this is a really good example of that. And Nisa also has some really cute original characters too. Last week I got to draw Rui, her butterfly boy. So what I like how you draw people, but I really like your whimsical original characters. And I love these colors together. That's really pretty. So Nisa, my critique for you is I want to see more of your art. I want to see you post more. These are from Inktober. And these were all in alcohol marker too, it looks like. I like the texture on the rock. How large a marker collection are you working with? I'd also like to see you do some mixed media with alcohol markers and watercolor, because I think that would extend your color range a lot, and you can also do some layering techniques that you wouldn't be able to do with just marker. Ah, sorry about that. Let me type that in for y'all. Ah, thank you. All right, Joseph has found both bookmarks. So Kabocha, I will do yours next. I do think a little more contrast. So these characters with the white heads, I think if you went with a darker blue or a darker gray, that would really help a lot. I can see, you know, where the lighting should go. So I think it's just going in with a slightly darker color or like a blue violet would really help it pop out. I'd also like to see you introduce, I like the shading on this. I'd like to see you introduce just a little bit more white highlights, but I'm biased because you guys see my art, like everything has to be shiny. So that's just kind of, oh, I love how whimsical your characters are. I love this one here. I like the angle we're viewing this from. I like how you drew the park bench. Well, these were Inktober, so I'm impressed that you did a colored piece every day of Inktober. That's impressive. For some of these, I do agree having a colored block would help, but I also understand that it's Inktober. You're doing one every day, and some of these are, like, considering it's an Inktober piece, like you put a lot of time and a lot of effort into it, like this piece here. Oh, I love how you drew the water. That looks really nice. Yeah, that was the one I said I really liked. Like, I really liked the angle on the bugs on the bench. I really like how the bench was drawn. Like, that's I would buy a print of that to put up. I don't know these characters, but I feel a connection with them. This one, too, it looks like a rhinoceros beetle, is also really, really nice. I like how you've created the environment as well. Ooh, the shading on this one. You did such a nice job with that. Is it due to a lack, like, is it because you don't have darker markers, or is it just something you're working towards? I love the texture on this. Oh, this one's nice. I like the brighter colors too. You and me both seem to like be very pastel and neutral colors. Oh, these are pretty too. So yeah, I think going with some darker contrasting colors is gonna help a lot. I love the color for this. Oh, these black and white Inktober's. Are these Inktober's? They are. Oh, I love them. So what I'd also like to see maybe, because these have very strong lighting, I think. I would love to see your markers with this kind of like stark black and white inking, if you know what I mean. Like heavier inks will also give your pieces more contrast, because right now, and I like it, right now you're using, it looks like a lot of the ink, this is a bad example. This is good art, but like not an example of what I wanted to talk about. This one is a better example. You're using a lot of line art that matches or goes well with the skin tones, but it starts to lose some of the contrast. Gotcha. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, like these. Well, you can't see my hand, so I'll move my cursor. These. Oh, I love this, and I love this. Is that blue ink? Maybe? Oh, I love it. She's so cute. And I think now we're kind of getting into some of the older art. I don't know how you feel about going into that, so we're going to stay current. I love this as well. I would like to see you redraw this one. I'm biased. I love it. She's so cute. I want to see her with your current skill set. I love that shiny hair. And this is really cool. I also like the art in this locket. It has a little bit more saturated color to it. And I know it's hard to post digital stuff to Instagram. I usually will post it to Twitter and then save it to my phone. There's a better way to do it, but that's how I do it because I'm lazy. I like the contrast that you achieved with the clothing in this one. You can also use, not only can you use watercolor on top of your alcohol markers, you can use color pencils on top of your alcohol markers, which I think might help you build up the depth of tone without, like I know with markers, sometimes building up that depth of color is like a commitment because you're committing to your shadow color, and sometimes it's a little too much commitment, but with color pencils, you can lightly build it up and then do another layer and then do another layer. This one though, the colors in this one are definitely my favorite. It's still not high contrast, but the colors are beautiful in this. And the shading you're using on the packets in the background is really nice as well. So I want to see more of this kind of art from you in the future. Thank you so much, Nisa, for letting us enjoy your beautiful art. Oh, crud. You said no critique. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I slipped. I am so sorry. Shoot. Are you okay? I really didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry. Seriously, I was like kind of freaking out. I'm so sorry. That's the last thing I want to do is betray your trust.
Just say it out loud for anyone.
Hmm?
I said just say it out loud for anyone so that you know that you checked. Say out loud.
I was reading it out loud. I should not have forgotten. I'd slipped. I'm so sorry. You did say yes? Oh! I was like, oh, woo! I was like dying. I was like, because that's like the last thing. I'm gonna double check, but that's like the last thing I want. Oh, you did say yes. Woo! That's the last thing I want to do is like, you guys are trusting me with this. I don't want to betray that trust. I take that really seriously. I'm not. Don't laugh at me. I do.
No, I'm not laughing at that sentiment. When you're just like all over the place. Why didn't you think?
I don't know. I don't know. My brain did that mean anxiety trick where it was like, but did they give permission? All right, so we're gonna take a look at Coach did provide a link. What am I thinking? Joseph's right. I am all over the place tonight. So we are gonna take a look at Kino Kitsune's art, and I remember now why I messed up, because Kino Kitsune is not interested in getting any critiques. They just want to share their beautiful art with us. And then I went right to Nisa's because I didn't have the physical bookmarks on hand. So my brain misregistered it. So we have here Kino Kitsune's beautiful handmade bookmarks. And I want to share, I have them in my hands. It's Kara and Tanner, my babies, my adorable babies. And I want to share these with you because I feel like they are so beautiful. They're so beautiful in person. You can really admire them, and online they're gorgeous too. But I'm gonna try and use the camera on my wow, see it to infinity. I'm going to use the camera on my computer to share how beautiful these bookmarks really are. Joseph, can you come over here and help me? I'm not seeing an obvious... Good evening, both Dawns. Yeah, I know. See into infinity. Thank you for sharing your link. Hi. I guess. No, we can do this. No. Hi, guys. That's my face. These are. I might as well. Sure. These are the two beautiful bookmarks. Y'all are real lucky I'm wearing a shirt. I'm real lucky I'm wearing a shirt. We're all lucky Joseph's wearing a shirt. Keep the stream PG. So these bookmarks are, I guess, about an inch and a half by 5 inches. So they're a good size. They are cut paper. Oh, Tanner's not going to die, Tanner. Don't worry. He's the love interest for this story. So he's not going to die. Carefully removing it from its sleeve so you guys can see. We have a beautiful watercolor illustration, and we have beautiful cut paper and sticker elements to it. Let me like not be off camera. And I believe these were painted with Daniel Smith watercolors, because Daniel Smith watercolors have this beautiful gradiating, sedimenting property to them. And some of these have shimmer inks. Hey, Lab Accident. And of course, Kino Kitsune should definitely feel free to talk about their beautiful art. I don't mean to over talk you. And then I'm going to show you guys, I like how I can't figure this out. I'm going to show you guys the beautiful detail that was painted onto Kara's dress to look like stitching. Kino Kitsune, how often do you offer commissions like these, if anyone is interested, or for those interested? Ah, nice.
Are they marker?
No, they're watercolor. No, wait. Okay. Hopefully that is correct. Oh, really? You use mostly Winsor Newton on these. I must be thinking of... You've done a few watercolors for me. I know the Kara, where it's Kara and G... Well, not GG, but it looks like Kara in Pancake or cosplaying as Kiki and Gigi. Those were done intentionally with granulating watercolors. Maybe twice a year, so you guys are going to have to keep an eye out for them. They are really cute. Joseph stole the Tanner one to use. So I'm going to return it to him because I'm happy he's using it.
I put yours in a book too.
Oh, apparently he'd stolen the Kara one as well.
No, I put it in your book.
In my book.
One of the 7 that you're in the middle of. On your nightstand.
So if you guys love cats, you can help support the care of a very special kitty by commissioning Kino Kitsune when they open their commissions up again. And I will definitely let you... Huh? Kino, you want to drop one of your links? And you also have a comic, I believe. Okay, let me get caught up. And we did Nisa. Thank you guys both for letting me look at, enjoy, and talk about your beautiful art. Next up, we have Allie, and I know Allie's around because Tanner's in here. Allie is a super sweetheart. I have the pleasure of knowing both Allie and Tanner in real life, in meet space even. And Allie is open to a critique from both me and from you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and read Allie's explanation of her work. I'm a lifelong traditional media artist who recently got serious about improving my work and sharing it with others. I've been diagnosed with several chronic conditions, including, and I'm going to mispronounce this, ankylosing spondylitis and fibromyalgia. I think I did okay with that. And hope to be an inspiration, you are, to other sufferers through my art. I'm a traditional artist who recently picked up watercolor, but I also enjoy using alcohol markers, acrylics, and just plain old inks. Oh, Becca is a great friend and a huge inspiration to me. And so is my wonderful husband, who encourages me to pursue my... You're gonna make me cry, Allie. Encourages me to pursue my dreams every day. Thanks for the shout out and any feedback, critique you have to give. And you can find Allie's work at instagram.com/inkmirror. Oh, have a good evening, Heidi. Feel better. And I really love Allie's work. I love, because I also follow her work on her Facebook. And I really like the flat graphic watercolors she's achieving with these. She's painting shoes. That's really cool. So it looks like we have 8 images and 1 beautiful cat to look at. Ah, you beat me! I was slow typing it. I can just delete mine. So Allie draws a lot of D&D characters from y'all's campaigns. Am I right, Tanner? I know this is fan art here, but generally a lot of Allie's art is inspired by y'all's tabletop campaigns. Hey, Lindsay, I hope you got home safe. Oof. I want to see this in person because it looks like Allie's included some like physical media in this. I see some glitter, and I love when artists do that, especially if it's for like pieces that are like commissions or something that someone's going to put up in their home. Tanner, do you know what she's painting with? What her paints are? I love this blue-green in the background. It's a really nice color. Cats are a key ingredient to art. I'm gonna get there. I love the gradation. I feel like this is Daniel Smith Moonglow, and that's really pretty there as well. Oh, I know, I saw her post a couple on Facebook recently. I'm glad it can be that kind of inspiration. So right now, my big critique is I feel like y'all's scanner or her camera, something is just not doing this justice. Like, I feel like the colors are getting kind of blown out a little bit. So if she has access to photo editing software, and I'm sure she is editing it to begin with, but I'd love to see, and I know some of these colors are really hard to scan properly because my scanner eats them alive too. I'd like to see like a closer to what I think the reality of this piece looks like what the colors look like in nice natural sunlight. And next time I see you guys, I would be happy to borrow one and fiddle around with it and see if I can come up with like a formula for how you guys can scan these and then edit them so they look more like the original. Yeah, Kino Kitsune is another fan of Daniel Smith too. So what I think is really charming about this art is there is a little bit of like a graphic stiffness, which I always think of like stained glass windows with this. So can you drop a link to the form? I don't know if I'm going to get to it tonight, but I will definitely get, if it's not tonight, I'll get to it at the first weekend of next month. I like it. I'm trying to think of how to say what I want to say without it coming across wrong. I think Allie has a lot of potential. Like every time I see Allie's art, I always think that. I remember the first time I met Allie and I felt like she had me draw her One Piece OC and like I loved how she drew her character. It was so good. So like Allie has a lot of just kind of natural potential. Like she's already got an eye for it. So something I'd like to see her do is I'd love to see her study human anatomy just a little bit more. Mostly just because of how she's drawing the muscles in the arms. And I have some books I'd love to loan her if she wants to borrow them for a while. And I love how she's drawing the folds as well. They're simplified, but they make sense. Like she's better at folds than I am. So I definitely, like, I really like the style for this. I'm going to move on to the next ones that we're looking at lots of things. And then this one's really nice too. The colors are really strong and they're very vibrant. And I even like, or I like this style of like cell shading. I feel like it's going on in the hair too, and I just can't see it because the photo didn't capture it. It's a good photo, like y'all have good lighting. And with the roses are definitely putting me in mind of a stained glass art piece. I'm not trying to, I don't want to be brutal. I like Ellie's art a lot. I just wanted to make sure saying like practice anatomy more doesn't come across like as like this harsh slam, because that's not my intention. I feel like Allie's got a lot of great things going on, and I think just studying musculature a little bit more is going to really bring her art to the next level. Hey, Terry, good evening. Possibly editing scan art. Oh, dude, I would love to help her with that for sure. Let me get my apartment clean and I will have y'all come over and I can show her, or I can come over to y'all's place and we can work with the equipment that you guys have. I can also do a little mini tutorial this evening if y'all still want it, since I'm on my laptop. But I feel like Allie's stuff is very stylish. Like, it's got its own style and it stands out. So on this piece, I definitely would like to see stronger contrast with the shadows, just because I've already kind of seen that in the other pieces, and it looks like this paper was fighting her some with like the bleeding, but I kind of like it. Like, I know how frustrating it is when your paper fights you, but I kind of like it in this. It looks good. Like, she did a good job saving it. Another thing I would like to see her try, I don't know if she's done that because I haven't seen like any of her unfinished sketches. I'd like to see what sort of system she uses for drawing faces. So for next month, so for April's portfolio walk artist showcase, if you could have her send some of those, I'd love to take a look at them. Or I can take a look at them before then, but if you want to do it on stream. And then look at this. Oh, it's washi tape. That's such a smart use of washi tape, right? Or is it hand drawn? I'm like on top of it and I can't tell. But I also like the use of color pencil to help add depth. I think that's something you should introduce into some of your other pages too, because it gives this really cool gradient effect. And I believe Joy-san does like watercolor slash color pencil mixed media that could be really inspiring. Have a good evening, Barrett. Thanks for coming in. Also, like, I love that Allie's drawing older people, because like lots of us don't and should, and this old dude looks awesome, and those are some great wrinkles. Like, that is a good... Oh, Allie has such a good way of like cartooning things. And then these, I believe, are done on colored paper, and this is a really nice use of limited color. I really would like to also see, and I know Allie didn't like your Fude pin, but I'd love to see how Allie's work looks with like a variable line weight. To the point where I kind of want to ink some of it just to see. I love messing with other people's art too. Like, Allie's stuff, her finished stuff is so clean. It's a ginger! She's so cute! Gosh! Y'all should follow Inkmere, though. I see great things in her future. So do you guys have any, oh. Can you link Joy-san's work? I just typed the name in. I know my southern accent confuses everything. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think Joy San's work could be a huge inspiration. Joy San also does gorgeous stuff. All right. No, YouTube, please. Sorry. Oh, you getting to it? Sorry. I don't like how I don't communicate. All right, thank you, Allie, for letting me take a look at your art. I'm going to think some more about it, too, since you said be brutal. I'm not good at being brutal, but I think I can probably think of some more stuff. Right now, you have a lot of happy expressions, and they're beautiful. A lot of people in love, which I love seeing that kind of stuff. I'd like to see maybe just some more, like, just plain character designs. Maybe some character turnarounds where you draw the same character from various angles. I'd love to see you do some character expression sheets where you draw the same character making various facial expressions. Oh, I have an MFA in sequential art. So I went to the Savannah College of Art and Design, which is now the Savannah College of Creative Careers or something. SCAD, the University of, oh my gosh, SCAD, the University for Creative Careers. That's right, got that MFA, got that paper. It is kind of in Japanese. It is Joy-san. It's a Master of Fine Art, which means comics are fine art because they wouldn't give a fine art mastery to not fine art degrees, right? So, it's a lot. So sequential art is comics, picture books, children's books, storyboards, that kind of thing. And a Master's of Fine Art means that I attended 2 additional years of school on top of my 4 for my undergraduate degree. It means I am supposedly qualified to teach art, including the master's level. It's a terminal degree, which means I cannot pursue sequential art to a higher academic degree. I'd have to switch over to like art history, which I plan on doing when I'm 50, and continuing my comic studies and getting a doctor in comics. But supposedly I am qualified to teach at any level. In reality, that is a really hard thing to convince people to let me do. And yes, so more facial expressions. Want to see a variety of facial expressions. Want to see more of y'all's characters in here because I love y'all's characters. Want to see character turnarounds. And I'd like to see some environments. So, like, could be spaceships, could be historical environments, could be modern environments, just some more variety. And I know that for Allie, this all takes time. So I'm patient. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool, Dawn. Oh, that's for sure. I sound very Louisiana when I'm around your family. Not so around my family. My mom kind of does not. It has never encouraged me talking like that. So thank you so much, Allie, for letting me take a look at your art. I look forward to hanging out and helping you out with some of the scanning stuff. I'm working on it, Catherine. Things have been kind of coming along a little bit better now that I'm teaching through community ed. It's been easier to convince people to give me opportunities to teach professionally. So I'm really hoping this can be the start of a big change. All right, our next artist is Motley Mochi. And you are open to critique from everyone. And you do furry art. So we have anti-artist art on hand here. And I am going to avoid the NSFW art. Thank you for the warning. I appreciate that. And their Twitter is twitter.com/motleymochi. I am grabbing your website. Is Motley Mochi in the channel right now? That's right. Hold her accountable. Well, we could go to Cheekwood again and just do life drawing. Terry, is your question about the form? I can kind of walk you through it if that's the case. My intention isn't for it to be confusing. I just want to make sure I have like the correct permissions as well as like the ability to credit people for their stuff. Like you don't have to give an explanation of your work if you don't want to. Everyone's commenting on my tabs. Okay, so whatever you want me to show on screen, link that on just the link accessible to Becca, etc. And then if you want me to promote like your Insta or your Twitter, you can drop that in the social media link. I do like teaching. I really love teaching people about comics and like showing people that you don't have to be amazing at art to make comics. That sort of accessibility means a lot to me because comics have been a big part of my life since I was a teenager. All right, Motley Mochi, are you in here? Are you here with us? If not, I will skip you for right now. Joseph will always call me out on having too many tabs. All right, so next up is Zargo Hunter, who has been with us for very many streams. So we are just appreciating Hunter's work. We're not doing any critique. And Zargo said, this was a test of a, to me, new line-free painting. I didn't want any kind of line showing, especially around the chest area of the puffin. So I traced it along onto the paper with a stylus. Like when you say you trace it onto the paper with a stylus, do you mean you did like kind of an embossment onto the paper so that we weren't going to see the line, but that you would be able to see the line? Because that's a really interesting idea. Knowing full well it was a risk to take, as paint might collect in the grooves. And Show said unwanted lines a lot. That is a really neat technique. I was lucky that the paper structure raised the grooves as it got wet, and I did not get any lines I didn't want. I left it as is because I was actually pleased with the slightly unfinished look, showing clearly it is a watercolor painting. And then we have a link to Zargo's Instagram. So I'm going to open that first, and then I'm going to open the link that was sent to me. No, I think that's really cool. Oh, these are gorgeous. That parrot is beautiful. You really got away with color and animals. And in case you guys missed it, Zargo's is Instagram.com/XARGOT. And we're going to go and admire what kind of stylus did you use? Like, was it one of those rounded tip styluses, or was it like a metal pencil but without like the graphite, if that makes sense? I know there's a few, well, I've seen different products referred to as styluses, which is why I asked, because I think this technique is really cool and I want to try it. No, that's me jingling. It's a beautiful piece and I love the colors. Okay, so 300-pound paper is probably not going to work with this. Really? Printer paper at the end. Huh. That is so cool. Thank you for sharing a new technique with us. I need to remember to try that out. All right, so if, okay. If Motley Mochi isn't in here this evening and Melissa isn't in here this evening, do I have anybody else who wants to play the game with us? Give it a moment to catch up. I know I closed out some of my tabs like a fool, but we can take a look at some of the ones I've left open. You'll take a shot. Did you fill it out, or can I just pull up your Insta? Did you feel, is it not refreshing for me? I'll try. Yeah, I don't think the form's refreshing for me. So I'm just going to open it in a new tab and kind of hopefully force it. That's fine. Which is your preference? Which site is your preference? Do you want your rose brushes critiqued? I was actually going to show off your brushes. I have them downloaded and I haven't loaded them yet, but I was going to also kind of quickly show how to do that. So Kino Kitsune makes these really awesome brushes for Photoshop and for Clip Studio Paint, and they're free for artists to use. They are not for people to kind of redistribute. And
when you say free to use, can I make something that I sell with it?
That is, I believe you can. You need to read the license on DeviantArt for them. Actually, give me a sec. I have all that pulled up. I don't know why I'm not just there. Okay, so this is Kabocha's website, shooting-stars.org/brushes. And this is where you can download. You can also download from their DeviantArt. They're amazing brushes for Photoshop and for Clip Studio Paint. Now, I'm most familiar with them for Photoshop. That's what I primarily use. I pretty much only use Clip Studio for inking. So I'm not familiar with CSP, but I am sure, yeah, go ahead. I mean, y'all fill out the form. Joseph, link the form, please. Y'all fill out the form. I'm going to show off Kabocha's amazing brushes. So the rose brush is new, and that was for Valentine's Day, and I believe it has 5 different roses, if I am correct. I haven't had a chance to play with the rose brushes yet, but I am super familiar with all of the shoujo brushes and the trash brushes and the feels brushes, the sparkles brushes, etc. So basically anything manga inspired. Yeah, have a good evening, Hunter. Thank you so much for making it. So I'm going to show off some of Kabocha's amazing brushes, and then I'm going to do our remaining critique / admiring. And this is a different version of Photoshop than I'm used to, so I'm gonna make a fool of myself. Kabocha is also working on a watercolor brush set. Which is not available yet. But I've had a chance to play around with it because it's something we collaborated on, and I really enjoy it. What am I doing wrong? Yep, it's the truth. Yeah, they are all videos that I am still scheduling. Do you guys want to come over and schedule my videos for me? I would love for someone else to write descriptions and do cards and pull the music, etc., etc., etc. I would love it. So you're welcome to come over and do it. Let's see if it loads the rose brushes for me. Done this before. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with it. Well, here's Shoujo Persistence, so I'll go ahead and open that. This is one of Kabocha's cool brush sets. So don't let this preview fool you guys. This is what the brush actually looks like. And Shoujo Persistence has a lot of really neat doily brushes. And Kabocha has a Cricut machine and has used these files to cut doilies and other pretty shapes. So these don't have to just be used with illustration or comics. They actually have a lot of use. So if you were like a scrapbooker or a card maker, some of these could be really useful as like die cuts. I use them to trash up all my best pieces. I love doing backgrounds with Kabocha's brushes. Like for mini prints and stuff. And this is just one. Like you can see you get a lot of variety with this brush set. That's just one brush set. So here is the roses set. And I love how the preview just like, it's just like if you were to smear them all instead of using them kind of like, yes, like stamps, instead of using them like stamps. And these were, oh, okay, give me a sec. Let me fix this. These were made from photos that you'd taken, and that some of them I'd sent you to use for this. So these, you went to the effort of like redrawing these to look like, to to look like tone brushes, which is really cool. So if you do shoujo comics, these could be for you. These could be your jam. And you also get just the silhouette, so you could even line them up. I mean, look at that. It's just about done. You put some color on it, it's finished. Yeah, that's awesome, Dawn. I'm glad that you're learning the art tricks, the art trade. And then this one has kind of a soft. You're giving them too much with this one, Kabocha. These are so nice and so rendered. Like, all the drawing is done. Someone could, like, quickly pump out a bouquet of roses. This is my first time getting to play with them, too. Like, I knew...
You should pull up a picture of Bowie and...
Just put a bunch of roses around him. Give him a flower crown.
Really,
Ooh,
really
this one's nice.
him up.
This is like a tone one, so this is very... Look at this. This one looks almost like a photo. Like, I know better, but dang, you did a good job. I don't have any chat clients open on this computer right now. Oh, a color brush. Oh, okay. So we were just doing black and white. I was keeping it old school manga. Let's go for red.
Probably need to add color paint. That's not right. It's just on black.
Well, it's not even letting me do anything right now, so I think I crashed Potato Shop. Whoa, whoa, no, that was a mistake. I regret my life choices. Potato Shop is being crashy. I didn't draw. I was just trying to switch the color. So what I'm going to do for right now is I'll give my computer a chance to chew that over, and we're going to take a look at some of our other amazing artists this evening. So we have Terry Delgado next. Oh, I know this piece. I really like this piece too. So Terry sent us a specific piece. Is interested in critique from me and from you guys. And Terry's Instagram is Terry the Sketcher. And I will tab that up for y'all. Highly recommend you follow her as well. Terry, would you mind telling us about, I'm familiar a bit with your world, not like fully caught up, but I'm a little familiar with your world. Would you mind kind of explaining to everybody what kind of world this takes place in? I really love Terry's answer style. I don't know if I have told you guys this before. I think I've mentioned it in streams in the past, but in fact, it's gotten even cuter with this piece. And you're using liquid graphite, you said? Are you using, it looks like you used water-soluble graphite pencils and then kind of glazed over them to activate the liquid graphite properties. Is that right? I love how you draw folds. It looks like a flower. It's gorgeous. And her eyes are so pretty too. I think the only thing I would recommend changing is we can see some of the graphite strokes, which works in some areas. So like on the stones it works, but like, and like on the wood here, that looks really nice too. So doing the pencil strokes either in the direction of the hair or applying your pencil to a scrap sheet of paper and then picking that up with a brush and applying it so that we get kind of a smooth wash of color. And that's kind of the only thing I would change. maybe a little bit more contrast here on, so it's like a trumpet flower or a morning glory, and it's open, and I assume it's kind of casting a shadow. That would be it though. I like it. Or some ripples on the water. I can kind of see them. Maybe even just outlining ripples and then blending that out a bit. Dawn, I really like the Mozart Como Rebi set. Joseph, would you link the unbox and swatch video for that? It's being dipped in water, like she's washing it, so it's weighted by the water. Maybe even having some water dripping off her hand or running off her hand would help. And some spiral curves on the sleeve, especially here on the elbows, would look really nice. Like the dress folds are so good. And this is Piper. And Piper is the most precious little bonbon in the box of bonbons. I have a soft spot for sweet characters, but if you like spicy characters, Cherry is a spicy lady and is always up to naughty and adventurous things. I really like it, and I think it's exciting that you're experimenting with various materials and putting, I know this took a lot of time to do, putting like that kind of time in with something that you're not quite used to. What might also be interesting, and this is just like my own, it would be to see you do like a glaze of watercolor over it, like a grisé style watercolor painting. So like you use the liquid graphite as like your undercolor, your underglaze, and then you tint it with colors. It might look kind of like an old-fashioned photograph, like a tinted photograph. Oh, I mostly don't paint my nails. I was trying to do it for YouTube because like you guys are looking at my hands a lot, and like sometimes my nails get really gross, and painting them kind of hides how gross they get. I'm just a gross person now.
You can just paint your nails when you take a break from your pages.
And you should check out more of Terry's work here on DeviantArt. Look at this adorable sneak peek. I love this. This is so good. So thank you so much, Terry, for sharing your art with us. I think next, Illy, we have, I lost it, so I gotta bring it back. We have Lindsay. Let me see if Potato Shop has figured itself out, or now it's red. Now it's red. But it still doesn't want to play nice with me and doesn't like me. I know these tabs are killing my computer. I need to work through and get them all scheduled so that they're no longer just sitting there. Well, something's choking this computer. Okay, so Lindsay, I think you are it for this evening. And Lindsay is sharing their art for us to admire this evening. And this is her first ever color pencil drawing and her first ever portrait and pencil drawing. And you used a mechanical pencil. You draw cars? I want to see your cars. Well, we are also not critiquing, we're admiring. We are complimenting and praising. So you linked this in one of our earlier streams, and I didn't get a chance to look at it until the stream had ended. And I wished I'd gotten a chance to look at it during the stream because I really like both pieces. These won an award, right? I know this one, the it's like on tone paper, won an award. And you put so much detail and attention into these folds. And I can't necessarily tell from the crop, but this looks almost like a cape. Maybe it was a flag, but the way it's draped is reminiscent of like angel wings. So we have this kind of storytelling going on where we have a firefighter in kind of an angelic heroic pose, which is really nice. I can definitely imagine firefighters feeling very attached to this piece. And also represents, I think, some of the danger that they experience in their jobs. And then this is, you said this is color pencil? Or is the other one, this one is definitely graphite, which I know had to take forever. And then to avoid smearing, because you have all this graphite on the paper, that must have been very difficult. This one, the blending is so smooth. It is angel wings. Ah, okay, good. Was tone tan. Okay, so this one was on white paper and, or no, this was tone tan. That makes sense. And that, wow, you put so much color on here. I never would have guessed that this was on a tone paper because the blue is so vibrant. Like you've put so much pigment on the paper. And then this other one, this one here was on white paper. So I guess it's just an effect of the lighting. How are you getting your blends so smooth? Are you using, Hema, send that for next month, because my brain is like entering shutdown mode right now. I don't know that I can do another series of critiques. More showcases. There we go. Yes, showcases. I like this. This was good, I thought. I hope you guys liked it. More art. Yeah, I would love to look over more of your art. You've definitely got ability. You have a real feel for the media, especially with the color pencil. What color pencils were you using for this? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Lab Accident. You need to submit your art for next time. Prismacolor pencils, and for the blending, use a white cup. Really? Really? Yeah, that awesome folds is the theme of this stream for sure. You got that. Wow. And this you said was your first portrait? I would love to see your cars. I cannot speak to cars. Heidi can speak to cars. I can't speak to cars, but I would love to see them because you have really nice contrast and shading going on, and cars are metallic, so you get all of these nice reflections. 132 pack. And just, do you use any other color pencils? Like, I've heard really good things about polychromos, and I think those are oil-based, so they're a little softer. Oh, for sure. Have a good night, Dawn. Thank you for joining us this evening. Are you familiar with lacquer fine art? I think you would get a real kick out of her channel. She reviews, she does tutorials, she does demonstrations, she does explanations where she explains why she uses what she uses, and she also does reviews. And I enjoy it, but I am not a color pencil gal. I don't have the patience for it. Like, clearly, you're a police officer. I can just tell how much love and care you put into this, and the color on the tie is just, the contrast is so nice. It's like such a nice divot fold right here. I think you would really enjoy her channel. I know she's got some really great information for color pencil enthusiasts and watercolor enthusiasts. I need to watch her Derwent Inktense stuff because I need to up my game there. But this was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing these. I want to see your car art now. All right, so I think, oh no, I wanted to finish up and I need to revisit this. So Kino Kitsune, hold me to it. I am not trying to cheat you out of, yeah, brush time. I'm just exhausted. Give it a sec because I haven't changed anything. But Photoshop may be really just being a jerk. Is it still saying I'm not live? Okay. Photoshop's just being weird potatoes. Oh, that's pretty. This brush is super cool. You did such a good job with this. I know you were working for a while making these rose brushes, and they're beautiful. My only complaint with these rose brushes is that I know people are going to like steal them and redistro them. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Lindsay. Well, that just means you got to do more car drawings. So, oh, these are beautiful though. So yeah, that's like my only, it's not even a complaint. It's just like a sad acknowledgement of the world we live in, is that these beautiful rose brushes are going to be redistributed, violating their terms of service. Oh, that's so nice. And with no credit to Kino Kitsune. So, if you see that happen, please let one of us know. I know! These are such good brushes. I feel like, I think I would feel guilty, or I'm going to feel guilty using them, because they're so good and they're so detailed that, right? Like, it's going to be like, did you draw those roses? I mean, of course I'm going to be like, no, they're from my friend's beautiful brush set. Go download them and use them. But, like, you know what I mean? Where it's like, it's so good it feels like it's art theft. These are so nice. Alright, y'all want Shoujo Bowie. So, I'm gonna put Joseph in charge of Shoujo Bowie. Can you get all that going, all that cooking, all that stewing for these lovely people? Wow, infinity. Actually, I'll just leave Photoshop up for you. Why not? So you can look at these beautiful brushes. All right, we have our winning image. He's even making like a blep face.
Oh. You would prefer this one.
No. Although I don't know where I saved it to now.
You didn't just copy it and paste it.
No, I tried to just save it. Just save it. It says it's on the desktop. I don't even know. Good night, friend. You can watch Bowie acquire a flower crown at another time. Thank you for letting me show off your stuff during the stream. I appreciate it. Yeah, I answered. Like right underneath. I said aqua blue. Oh, I see. That's weird. Okay, fine. You said you copied it? Blap. A blap boy. One blap. He's very blap. Oh, they're all down here. I don't know what I'm thinking. Oof. Too big. Oh. Alright, we're gonna... Okay, that is not what we want. I think we want... Oh, you know what we could do? We could do the rose silhouette as a solid color and then put the rose blurred on top of it with a slightly darker color. But I am tired, and that is effort. I will do that another time. Like, you could really build these up. And I believe Kabocha has some examples of that. I'm failing at this, y'all. I might, yeah. I cannot make my son the perfect shoujo prince we all know him to be. No, I'm failing. What I'd originally wanted to do.
You're very patient with you then.
Who? Everyone? Or Bowie, yeah. Well, let me put some roses on the goober in the background. What I'd wanted to do, and what I will do later, although maybe not during a stream, I may just record it and share it, is I was going to do a black and white line art and then add a bunch of the line art roses and then color the whole together. These are good roses. I'm just not using them to good effect. All right, guys. I think that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this evening. Thank you so much for sharing your art and allowing me to share it on the stream. I really, really appreciate the trust that you guys have put in me. And I hope it was a worthwhile evening. I hope that everyone who participated felt like it was worth the trust that they put in me. So next month, I want to do another artist showcase. It's always going to be the first weekend of the month. If there is any reason why that should change, I'll let you know in advance. Yeah, Lindsay, that is probably the way to do it. I am just tired and my brain is not firing on all cylinders anymore. So I think it's a good time to call it an evening for me. So next week is going to resume normal Power Hour activities with character request sketches and demonstrations and the ilk. And I've got some really cool stuff to show you guys next stream. So I hope you are looking forward to it. And then on the 15th of March, I think, I am doing a zine exchange down at the Groove here in Nashville, Tennessee. Yep, the 15th of March. And what I would like to do, and I don't know how feasible this is going to be, but I would like Joseph to stream at least like a little bit, not the whole thing, but like maybe like, hey, this is us at the Groove, we're doing the exchange, like that kind of a thing. So keep an eye out on that. Yeah, I am the tab queen, queen of all the tabs. I guess I should start drinking tab soda. But on the Thursday before our exchange, I have a stream planned. That's going to be our Power Hour stream for that week. And I have something really cool and surprise planned. So I hope you guys will join me for the 14th. Same time, same place. So I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I hope you guys get drawing right now or tomorrow. And I'll see you guys again next week. Bye, guys.